Hey friend, John McLennan here, and in this video I want to share with you how to play Steve Cropper's guitar solo note for note over Green Onions as recorded by Booker T and the MGs. Now this is an awesome blues in the key of F minor, and Steve Cropper plays a 2-chorus guitar solo that's got some great funky down-home blues licks in it. I'm gonna break it down for you step by step. But real quick, before we dive into it, if you're new to the channel and you haven't downloaded my fretboard guide yet, you're gonna wanna grab this first because it ties right in with today's lesson. And what this fretboard guide is it shows you the 5 must-know chords and scales to map out your entire fretboard. And when it comes to playing a solo like what Steve Cropper is doing, in fact, the majority of this solo is all based around something called the pentatonic scale. And you're gonna see the 5 patterns that I use and the shapes that I play on this PDF. You can download it completely for free. All you gotta do is go to johnmcclennan.com/fretboard guide or click the first link down below. You can print this out, keep it on your music stand or on your desktop as you're putting this all together. So hope you enjoy that as my gift to you. And with that said, let's break it down. All right, so this solo kicks off with Steve Cropper around 1:12 into the song. And the first 4 bars sound like this. 1, 2, 3. All right, so we're down here, we're starting out in this sort of F minor pentatonic blues position here. And Steve does a bend, and he bends up that 3rd fret on the 3rd string. Brings it up, releases it down, does a pull off to the 1st fret, and then what he does throughout this recording when he plays that 1st fret there, kind of pushes it up a little bit to get a blues bend like this. So that's the first lick, and it actually starts on beat 4, so you would count 1, 2, 3, and then it goes into the downbeat of the next measure. Then we play this little double stop and 2 bends like this. And this you'll see throughout this solo is grabbing this double stop here, which is the 1st fret on both the 1st and 2nd strings. Then do a bend on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string twice, like that. So you do the double stop, then 2 bends. From there, he does kind of like a B.B. King blues lick where he goes, and that's just sliding into the note F. I'm playing the 4th fret, sliding to the 6th fret on the 2nd string. The next phrase goes like this. So again, lots of little blues bends here. We're playing the 6th fret of the 2nd string, then the 4th fret of the 1st string, then do a bend on the 6th fret of the 1st string, and then you kind of bend up to a pull off. So then I pull off there from the 6th fret to the 4th fret. Now when I land on the 4th fret there, I'm actually gonna push that note up as well. So it sounds like this. You get all these little microtone bends, but they really give it that blues feeling. So backing up, the last 2 licks go. And so far, the first 4 bars go 1, 2, 3, and this next lick is a very common one that Steve plays over and over in this solo. He goes like this. And this is a double stop, again, back to that double stop. Now, if you think about this, this is actually just part of an F minor there, or 2 notes in your F minor pentatonic scale. We're gonna play that double stop, and I do it as an up strum. Then we do a bend on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string, Then we release it down to just natural 3. Then we do a pull off from that 3 to 1, and then of course we push that 1 up again. So it's a tricky little move there, but it's a lot of fun to play. So we come off of this. Then we go, and this is going down using parts of the F minor chord here. It's like this double stop, but we bring it up to the 3rd string and 2nd strings now. And then end there with 2 of the notes F, or the 3rd fret of the 4th string. Again, making kind of an F minor, which is what key we're in, an F minor blues here. So backing up. Then we go. And that's kind of an interesting lick. It just sounds like he flings off there to open strings. So what that is the double stop again on the 2nd and 3rd strings, 1st fret, then play the 3rd fret of the 3rd string, and then just do a little pull off to 0 and then mute. So then we go. This is kind of a Chuck Berry thing, right? Bringing back that double stop. So here I'm bending the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. And then the double stop on the 1st fret of the 1st and 2nd strings, then back to the bend. So backing up a little bit, so far we've got this. 1, 2, and 3. Now this brings us to the last 4 bars of our 12-bar blues, and with the pickup going into it, we're gonna play this. 1, 2, and 3. So with the pickup, we're bending the 3rd fret on the 3rd string, grab the double stop, bend the 3rd fret again, then we come down to the note F here on the 3rd fret of the 4th string and play. And this is 3, then 1, 3 on the 3rd string. Then we do what's called a pre-bend. So we bend the note up before we pluck it, and then we bring it down after we pluck it. So then do that same thing back to the 1st fret with the little mini bend there, the little blues bend. Then we go to the double stop, bend the 3rd fret of the 3rd string, and then a quick 1 on the 3rd string to 3 on the 4th string. So you bend that 3rd fret up, release it down, then quick 1, 3. So. Now that part's interesting there because he actually plays a major 3rd over the minor chord, which is probably like theoretically the worst note to play against it, but it sounds cool in the recording. So here we're going 3 on the 4th string and then hammer 1 to 2 on the 3rd string and then back to the root, which is really kind of an F major sound, but remember in our organ part we've got that F minor. So that wraps up basically the first chorus. Now before we dive into the next chorus, let's just put that all together so you can hear what it sounds like played as one piece. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, from there we go into the second chorus that Steve Cropper plays, and this is sort of just taking a riff through the blues changes. Let me show you what it sounds like. All right, so it's basically the same riff just being moved around, and we learned it already in the first chorus. So there is some repetitive ideas here. Just to review, we're gonna start with the double stop here, and this would be based off what we call the one chord, or I mentioned the F minor there. So we grab this double stop on the first and second strings, then do the third fret, bend, play natural, and then do a pull off to the first fret. And when we get to that first fret, remember we're gonna do that blues bend. Just kind of lift it up a little bit. So all together, that's the lick. And then with your strum hand, you just rest. So we're gonna do that 4 times for the F chord, or the one chord. 1 and 2 and 3. Then from there, we'll move it up to the 6th fret, play it 2 times for the 4 chord, like this. Then we'll bring it back down to 2 times for the 1 chord. So again, I'm visualizing these shapes and then just playing right off them. Back to F. Now, of course, for the turnaround, we get the 5 chord, the C. So for that, we're gonna bring it up to the 8th fret and play it 1 time. Then the 6th fret. Then back home to 2 times on the 1st fret. All right, so now we're gonna put it all together and play this whole solo 2 choruses. So we've got that first 12-bar blues and then the next 12-bar blues, which is more just moving around that riff. Get set and I'll count you in. 1, 2, 3, 4. So practice that solo, and when you're ready, see if you can play it along with the recording. The recording has such a great groove and feel to it, and just copying this is gonna make you a better guitar player. It's gonna improve so many elements of your musicianship as well. So keep going and rewind the video and go over any parts that are unclear, and don't forget to grab my fretboard guide, which goes hand in hand with learning how to improvise, being able to play all over the neck. This is going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales that I use to map out the entire fretboard. It's just a 1-page PDF. You can print it out, keep it on your music stand or on your desktop as a super useful guide as you go through putting this together. So all you got to do is go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide to download it right there completely for free. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Be sure to also check out the rhythm lesson that I have on this song, and I'll link that up right here.